In the endless skies where air superiority decides victory, one machine still defines Russian air power, the Su-35 Flanker-E. It's not just a fighter jet. It's a statement, a perfect balance of raw power, precision, and control. Born from decades of Soviet engineering, the Su-35 is an evolution of the legendary Su-27, stronger, faster, and far more intelligent. Its twin AL-41F1S engines unleash more than 64,000 pounds of thrust combined, with 3D thrust vectoring that lets the jet twist, flip, and outmaneuver nearly any rival in the sky. Beneath its sleek titanium skin lies digital fly-by-wire control, advanced avionics, and the Irbis-E radar, capable of detecting targets more than 400 kilometers away, even stealth aircraft. It carries an arsenal of AR-77 and AR-73 air-to-air missiles, precision-guided bombs, and the powerful 30mm GSH-30 cannon. In dogfights, it dominates. In long-range missions, it strikes with deadly precision. Every movement, every sound, every flare, reminds the world that Russia still builds machines to rule the sky. The Su-35 is not just a weapon, it's a symbol of power, mastery, and engineering pride. But here's the question, can even this legend stand against the stealth of the future? Tell us your thoughts, and subscribe to WarTech World for more deep dives into the world's most powerful weapons. Every great machine begins with its frame, and for the Su-35, that frame is a masterpiece of aerodynamics and strength. Built to dominate both speed and endurance, the Su-35's airframe is a fusion of lightweight titanium and advanced composite materials, the perfect balance between durability, flexibility, and stealth. Titanium gives the jet its backbone. It can withstand the crushing forces of 9G turns, the heat of supersonic flight, and the violent stress of afterburner acceleration. Meanwhile, composite panels wrap around the fuselage, reducing weight while absorbing radar waves, making the Su-35 harder to track, harder to target, and much harder to kill. Its broad, blended wings and reshaped tail fins aren't just beautiful, they're precision-engineered surfaces designed to carve through the atmosphere with surgical efficiency. Every curve and contour has been refined through wind tunnel testing and computational fluid dynamics to minimize drag and maximize lift, allowing the Su-35 to remain stable at both low and high speeds, from a slow dogfight twist to a blistering Mach 2 dash. Unlike its predecessor, the Su-27, the Su-35 discards the forward canards, opting instead for a cleaner aerodynamic design. This not only enhances stealth and control but also improves the aircraft's radar cross-section, giving it a smaller digital footprint on enemy sensors. Every bolt, panel, and weld is tested under extreme conditions, heat, pressure, and vibration, to ensure the airframe performs flawlessly in combat. From the wingtips to the tail, this structure is built not just to fly, but to fight, survive, and strike back. This is the frame of power, the skeleton of supremacy that allows the Su-35 to defy gravity, outfly its rivals, and carve its name into the sky as Russia's ultimate air superiority fighter. Every fighter has a soul, and for the Su-35, that soul burns deep within its twin AL-41F1S turbofan engines. This is where raw power meets precision engineering. The same technology that powers Russia's next-generation prototypes now breathes life into one of the most agile fighters ever built. Each engine generates more than 32,000 pounds of thrust, that's over 64,000 pounds combined, enough to propel this 19-ton aircraft beyond Mach 2.25 and send it climbing past 60,000 feet in minutes. But numbers alone don't define the Su-35. What makes it legendary is 3D thrust vectoring, the ability of its engines to pivot and twist mid-flight, directing thrust in multiple directions. Imagine a jet turning inside its own radius, rolling, flipping, and dancing through the sky like a predator stalking its prey. That's not just speed, that's control. It allows the Su-35 to perform impossible maneuvers like the Cobra and Colbert, moves that defy traditional aerodynamics and leave even stealth fighters struggling to respond. Each AL-41F1S engine is hand-assembled and tested individually, fine-tuned to perfection. A digital control system constantly monitors temperature, pressure, and turbine speed, ensuring optimal performance and instant throttle response. These engines aren't just machines, they're intelligent power plants capable of adapting in real time. The sound they make isn't just noise. It's a roar of dominance,
There's an anomaly on the
a thunder that
intercasing here.
announces Russia's mastery of aerospace engineering.
Let's recalibrate the
From
sensor
the
and
hangar
rerun the
floor to
diagnostic.
the upper atmosphere, this is the beating heart of the beast, the power that gives the Su-35 its soul, its strength, and its place among the greatest fighters ever to rule the sky.
Yeah, I see it on the screen here.
Step inside the cockpit, and you enter the digital brain of the Su-35, a place where man and machine merge into one. Here, raw power meets intelligence. Every system, every display, every button is designed to keep the pilot alive and dominant. Gone are the analog gauges of the past. In their place, two large multifunctional LCD displays, capable of showing radar maps, weapon status, flight parameters, and tactical overlays in real time. It's a glass cockpit, sleek, efficient, and built for absolute situational awareness. The pilot doesn't just fly, he commands. Using a digital fly-by-wire control system, the Su-35 interprets every movement, translating it into fluid precision. Even at extreme angles of attack, where most aircraft would stall, the system keeps the jet stable, ready to recover, ready to strike. Mounted on the pilot's head is a helmet-mounted display system, projecting targeting information directly onto the visor. It allows the pilot to lock onto a target simply by looking at it, no need to turn the aircraft first. When milliseconds decide victory, that speed matters. Behind the pilot, the avionics suite hums quietly, a symphony of Russian engineering. The onboard computer integrates data from radar, sensors, and electronic warfare systems, forming a unified tactical picture. It processes threats, calculates missile trajectories, and even predicts enemy movement before the pilot can react. The cockpit lighting adjusts automatically to combat conditions, while the hands-on throttle and stick, HOTAS, layout allows full control without ever looking down. It's not just ergonomics, it's survival design. Inside this cockpit, the pilot doesn't feel separated from the jet, he becomes part of it. Every decision, every input, every heartbeat flows through the digital nervous system of the Su-35. It's not just a machine, it's an extension of human instinct, refined by technology and tested by war. This is the mind of a fighter, where precision, speed, and awareness unite, giving the Su-35 its most powerful weapon of all, intelligence. In modern air combat, victory belongs to the one who sees first, and strikes first. That's where the Irbis-E radar system gives the Su-35 its unmatched advantage. Developed by the legendary Tykhomarov Institute, the Irbis-E isn't just a radar, it's an electronic predator, capable of hunting in silence across hundreds of kilometers. Mounted inside the Su-35's nose cone, this X-band passive electronically scanned array, PESA, radar delivers raw detection power. It can spot large aircraft at distances beyond 400 kilometers, and even detect stealth fighters at over 80 kilometers, depending on their radar cross-section. The system can track up to 30 aerial targets simultaneously, while engaging 8 at once, allowing the pilot to manage an entire sky of chaos with calm precision. But the Irbis-E's power goes far beyond tracking. It can detect low-flying cruise missiles, ground installations, and even small drones hidden among terrain clutter. By integrating with the Su-35's electronic warfare suite, it can jam hostile radars, disrupt incoming missile locks, and operate in passive mode, seeing without being seen. Each radar pulse is processed through a high-speed digital signal processor, feeding the pilot's displays with crisp, real-time tactical awareness. It's like painting the invisible battlefield, every target illuminated, every threat mapped. In a world where milliseconds decide survival, the Irbis-E gives the Su-35 eyes sharper than any humans, eyes that see beyond clouds, mountains, and enemy stealth. For Russia's elite pilots, it's not just a tool, it's an extension of instinct. The Irbis-E doesn't just find the enemy, it defines the future of aerial dominance. This is sight beyond sight, the vision that makes the Su-35 a hunter in the modern sky. When power meets precision, destruction becomes art, and the Su-35 turns that art into warfare. This fighter is built to fight, to strike, and to win, no matter the distance, no matter the enemy. Armed with an arsenal that covers every combat scenario, the Su-35 carries R-77 and R-73 air-to-air missiles, its signature hunters in the sky. The R-77, nicknamed Adder, is a beyond visual range missile guided by active radar, capable of locking on and killing targets over 110 kilometers away.
All right, bring
Its
it up
smaller
slowly,
partner,
watch the clearance.
the R-73, dominates the close fight,
secure, pull it
agile,
back.
heat-seeking, and deadly even when launched at extreme angles. But the Su-35's reach doesn't end there. It wields the KH-31 anti-ship and anti-radar missiles, capable of skimming the surface at supersonic speed to strike vessels and enemy radars with pinpoint accuracy. This makes the Su-35 not just an air superiority fighter, but a true multi-role weapon, equally lethal over land or sea. And when the battle closes in, the Su-35 bears its claws, a 30mm GSH 30-1 cannon, firing up to 1,800 rounds per minute. It's a reminder that sometimes the oldest weapons, speed, steel, and precision, remain the most devastating. Every trigger pull, every missile trail, every flash of fire tells the same story, dominance through firepower. The Su-35 doesn't fight for survival, it fights to rule the sky. Every inch of the Su-35 tells a story of purpose, a machine forged not just for flight, but for dominance. From its titanium frame to its vectoring engines and advanced radar, the Su-35 is the product of decades of relentless innovation, the embodiment of Russian engineering pride. It may not cloak itself in stealth perfection, but what it lacks in invisibility, it makes up for in power, control, and sheer confidence. In the hands of a skilled pilot, this fighter becomes something greater than technology. It becomes instinct in motion, a living weapon that turns the sky into its battlefield. The Su-35 stands as the ultimate evolution of fourth-generation air combat, perhaps the final step before the dawn of something new. Is it the last of its kind, or the bridge to Russia's next era of air dominance? That answer, like the Su-35 itself, lives between the clouds, in the space where skill, engineering, and willpower collide. What do you think? Can anything truly rival the Flankerier's legacy? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to WarTech World, where military power meets innovation, and the future of warfare is always one flight away.
We need that panel secured before the next cycle.
Almost done here. Diagnostics are clear.